And then the stripper loving. Come on, every guy.
Yeah, man, we all.
No, been there and done that. Whatever, man. There's plenty.
Serial cheater? No, you can't be a cheater.
What's a serial cheater?
Like
What's
someone
that?
who cheats all the time, like serially.
Is that a serial cheater?
Serially? What the fuck? Like serially? Like serially? Like serially? What is that?
Listen here. At the end of the days, I've done many things. Many wrong things.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. I've done a lot of interviews with my co-host Saul, but when we told him that we're going to have you as a guest, he was so excited. It's the first time I've seen him that excited.
Yeah, man, I was, because I'm a huge fan of, your team, the Golden Team that won the AFCON. Even in our studio, we've got a picture, the squad, the starting lineup, hanging just underneath my desk. Huge fan. I think you guys are national icons, man. Everybody should have been as excited as I was. I don't know why they weren't. But yeah, man, huge. The whole team.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legendary Mark Fair. Thanks for coming through, man.
No, thank you very much, and thank you for that introduction. I think that probably the people aren't that as excited because if it was maybe year 2000, and it's now 2022. So Madalas now, we're getting old. So people most people don't even remember us. I really enjoy it now when someone wants a picture, then they say, no, my child wants a picture. I'm like, no, you want the picture. You just don't want to ask because the child is too young to know who I am. You know that. But they've told them the story, so yeah. But we have the picture.
Another thing that I liked about you is that you on Survivor. I've been trying to tell these guys that Survivor's fucking awesome, bro. They don't watch it. I'm the only one who watches it here.
So yeah, it was. They got a hold of me, and it was. I couldn't get voted off because they had two captains, myself and then Corny Krika was the captain with the other team. And it was an interesting experience. I think that if you're a Survivor fan, I don't know if you watched that, but for 8 days when I say we couldn't find food, we couldn't, we were meant to fish. They only give you water. People always ask me, is that really what happens?
Yeah.
Do you actually stay in a hotel and that? But it was an experience, but it's also a reminder for me is that the human spirit, how strong it actually is. At the end of the day, is you can cope with many things that go against you, and it was a good experience and an enjoyable experience.
Was it one of the toughest things you've ever done in your life?
I think that the first couple of days, as I said, struggling, it was a challenge, but it's no. I've been married twice, divorced twice, and that's the hardest thing. give me an island any day, my friend. I can handle anything. So, it was a good experience.
Yeah, I've got a saying that I think Survivor and football best describes life. Would you agree with that saying?
So I think that certainly, as I said, being the captain of my team, the things that you try and convey to your team, not even when you're competing against each other, just when you're in camp trying to find food and trying to keep everyone together. Because remember, although I'm the captain of the team, each one is actually an individual because they're fighting for the prize money. Yeah. So as much as they want to be part of a team, you get little clicks there, and that's what happens in a football team, very much so, because you always think of, when you look at, I experienced it when you have a teammate and then it becomes a bad apple. Because he's not playing or whatever, and he's got an issue with the coach, and it spreads very quickly. And next minute, especially in South Africa, I've experienced and you've seen it where, if the guys don't like the coach or they don't like what's happening, they will play and make sure he loses and then he's gone.
Exactly,
it happens. It's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact. So, so certainly being on Survivor, being on an island, and being a leader at the time, of my team, you use the same attributes as you try and use when you go onto a football field, how to uplift players, how to give them encouragement to make sure that you try and go out and win the match.
100%, dog. So look at Leicester City, right? Underdogs. Yep. No one ever thought they'd win the EPL, but they worked hard, didn't give up.
No superstars.
You know what I mean?
Not average players, but just units. United not United players. They wish they haven't seen an EPL in years.
But they
were
worked
united
hard.
exactly.
And if you do that in life, you'll get far. You know what I mean? It's a simple concept.
Yeah, 3 heads better than one. What's the perfect quote for unity?
Yeah,
there's so many quotes about unity, man. That's life.
But exactly like you said, that Leicester team. I think most football fans, you watch them how they're starting and they continue, and it's month 1, month 2, month 3, and then by the time Christmas and you all as football fans think,
there's no
ways they're going to last. And again, I think that's
the underdog story.
I think that's what's going through with them now. Unfortunately, we all know what happened to the owner, passed away in a helicopter crash. I think he played such an important role at the club, how he uplifted the players, the confidence he gave them. And I know the son is there, but it's I think ever since in the passing of the owner, it looks like Leicester are fighting that survival, which is a club that used to do that, but obviously once he was there, he changed their ambitions and where they wanted to go, and certainly, winning the FA Cup and winning the league, it is a challenge, but it was good to see a club that no one expected to go on to win the English Premier League. And not many clubs can say they've won the English Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't,
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. I certainly didn't. What we said, clubs, not people. We said clubs for people.
So, how do you have that conversation with your parents where you're like, I want to play football? Because I would have thought, like, maybe they thought you were going to play like rugby or cricket or something like that.
I played football from a very young age. I played a lot of sports. Football for a club called Arcadia Shepherds, so I don't think anyone would know them. Maybe if you're a little bit older, they used to play in what is now obviously the Premiership, but it used to be called the NSL or MPSL. And Arcadia Shepherds, I started playing there from the age of 6 and grew up there. And a lot of good players came from there. The late Thomas Marigaki was also from Arcadia Shepherds. And, played all the sports at primary school, but I went to a high school which was a rugby playing school. It was I was in the right zone to go from that school from Sunnyside Primary to Pretoria Boys High, and I went there. What's it now, grade 10, standard 8 for me. I was playing first team cricket for the school, and
oh, is it?
Yeah. And then I did have 1 or 2 issues where they wanted me to play rugby, but they didn't really pursue it. But the cricket one, and then eventually I just went to the cricket coach and I said, no, cricket, you play a whole day and it's a draw. I mean, what's the point? But I think the funny thing is that, we all youngsters and we're growing up, and my head at the age of 15 was obviously like most 15-year-old boys, You're thinking of girls and this and that. So eventually when I was in the UK, some reporter had got hold of, he heard that I played cricket. Yeah. And he asked, why did I choose football over cricket? And I think he was waiting for some really philosophical answer in saying, they're the baller. I said, listen, there were better looking girls watching football than cricket. That's why I went football, man. So there's no philosophical answer. It was just, that's the way it went. That's where the head was at the time.
Yeah.
Were you a batsman or bowler?
I actually was a bowler when I was like, grade 7 and 8. Was more a bowler, but I became a batsman. So bowler, but I batted number 4.
So all-rounder.
Batted number 4, yeah.
Yeah, all-rounder then.
Yeah, it seemed like it at the time, yeah. Oh. I think they were just desperate for cricketers.
Were you the only child? Or you got siblings?
No, I got older brother.
Oh, you got older brother?
An older brother.
What did he end up doing?
My older brother. His quick story, my mother left my father, so my brother, a train was moving out of the train station. He fell out of the train.
Gee.
Okay? No, but it wasn't moving fast, and the way he fell, he actually became colorblind.
Okay.
So he could only see black and white. So when my mother moved to Pretoria, he went to a blind school, Princehof, which is in Pretoria, and he got into wrestling. My brother's the exact opposite of me. He's like, the amateur wrestling where they wear those funny costumes.
Yeah.
Like in rugby where they hold each other's balls and shit.
Yeah, the Olympic wrestling.
He was doing that, and then he played rugby, and he still plays rugby. He's now 3 years old, so he's 51 now, and he still plays rugby, but he's a head coach. He's crazy. He's crazy. But he's hardcore. He's just a hard oak.
Yeah. And were your parents more proud of him or you?
How are you going to have to ask them?
You can see the sparkle in their eyes when they look at you versus your brother.
My brother's a good guy. And a lot of time.
Why did you guys move from Cape Town to Pretoria? Because you were born in Cape Town, right? Yeah.
Like anything, my mother left my father.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
And my grandparents were up here, so she said, no, getting on a train and came here.
And then you came with her?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was 8 months old, so I should hope so.
Oh.
I should hope so. I came with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think also, it certainly didn't come from a wealthy background, but the one story is that my mother was hitchhiking with myself and my brother, and she claims that an I&J fish truck picked her up to drop her off at the trade station. It's quite funny. I&J fish truck, fish.
Fish, yeah.
So it was, I said, God works in mysterious ways, I tell you what. Very much.
And then how do you become from, because you start off as a striker to becoming a defender, how does that happen?
Jomo.
Jomo, okay.
We were at this, what's it now, the Nedbank Cup, which is used to be the Bob Safe. And we were playing, not sure who we were playing against, but it was the semi-final, and the late Freddie Banda from Zambia, that he got sent off as central defender, and I think I'd only played about maybe 4 or 5 games at the most as striker for Cosmos.
Yeah, and you scored against Brambaloi once, yeah?
As a youngster we did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different story. Brian used to be a central defender, and I was a striker.
Yeah.
So I played for Northern Transvaal, he played for Southern Transvaal.
Yeah.
I remember I scored against him, yeah.
A couple.
It's too slow. That's why he became a goalkeeper. It's too slow. Spider. But, so then Jomo just, and I think it was still in the first half that Banda got sent off, and then Jomo said, I'm just going to play at the back, and
that's the rest
just
is
stayed
history.
The rest is history.
Do you remember
100%.
how he discovered you, Jomo? From Arcadia.
So Jomo, it was actually, there's a guy that's a scout for Supersport called Paul Matthews. Now, I used to play with him he was Colts and I was 15 playing for Colts. And he said to his dad, now Jomo used to have Roy Matthews, used to be his co-coach at Cosmos. So he told his dad, and his dad told Jomo, and then Jomo came to watch. So it wasn't, It was through knowing someone. I think it's a challenge. Why, when you talk to the kids and that, you say, wherever, if you're training or if you're playing a football match, you never know who's watching.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times I get it, you get fantastic players, but you need a little bit of luck to be able to be spotted so that you can go on to showcase whatever talent you have. So it is difficult, it's again, you talk to the youngsters and everyone wants to become a footballer, everyone wants to do this, and then I literally stand in front of them and I give them the stats of wanting to become a professional footballer, especially here in South Africa. It's very, very tough. Very tough, and sometimes you need to realize it's very unlikely that it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, you break it down very quickly. Say we're 60 million, break it down, remember, there's more women and men, so make it 20 million. Let's make it at maybe even 5 million. Let's make it 5 million under 21, and it's guys. We really theoretically have 32 professional teams. I'm talking about the PSL and NFT that play full time. 32 professional teams. Let's work out. There's 1,200. Let's make it 2,000 players out of 5 million.
You're telling a young kid this. What a buzzkill, bro.
100%. But the thing is, what? My friend,
it sounds like he's told his sons this many times.
I've told them. No, because you must understand. So I have a foundation, and you get messages, and you get, and the guy wants to be a footballer. How old are you? 28. I'm my friend. Come on.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Oh no, I'm 25. I'm like, yeah, no, my friend. It's a different world. If we want to progress as a football nation, we need to look younger and try and develop them. Obviously a lot younger and a lot quicker. Yeah. Very much so.
When you get to Jomo Sono, what's happening in your life at that time? Where are you staying? How much are you getting paid there?
Hey, bro, Jomo.
Yeah.
You get... it's...
handshake.
You nearly going for that swear word, eh? It was nearly coming out. Bro, Joe, the first time I got a paycheck, Bro, Joe used to bank at Bank of Lisbon. Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
But... So you got the first paycheck, and it's like, sure, okay, it was 800 Rand, which is a lot then. It's like, hey, I can now puzo for the whole weekend, my friend. No, it only lasts the weekend, but anyway. And then I went to the Bank of Lisbon. So I woke up, so we trained on Thursday, woke up the Friday and made my way to the Bank of Lisbon and got there and gave the check, I'm really proud. I mean, this is my first proper paycheck, 800 rand. Yeah. The check bounces. Boom.
Oh, Chumani.
Hey, Jomo, there's no money. So that the next training session I go, and the players all say, if you get a check from Jomo, you must make sure you're the first one at the bank because you're not sure how much money's in the bank. So yeah, it was my first experience, 800 rand.
Jeez, that's
but
crazy, man.
It was good. It was for at the time. It was obviously you're getting paid, but it wasn't about money for me.
You just wanted to
the
play.
exposure. And I just want to play football, and he has my opportunity. So it was interesting.
What could you do with 800 then? I mean, could you at least rent a place, or is just pocket change?
Nah, you could rent a place. You could do many things there.
Oh, for real? Whoa,
Yeah.
800
couple of
bucks.
beers, hookers here and there.
Oh my God, my friend. That's for free, brother. You don't pay for that.
He's a fish. He's attracted to the hooks.
Oh my gosh. That's for free, brother. You didn't pay for that.
When did you realize that, fuck, man, football's becoming big in this country? Because I'm sure when you started, you were earning 800 bucks. Now these guys are earning 800 bucks a minute.
Ludicrous, yeah.
No, it's so my first year, I mean, I joined Cosmos, so that was 92, sort of August time. Remember, we used to play from January to November.
Oh,
the season was different.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so
January to November. Right.
Yeah, and so yeah, it was that was 800 bucks. The following year was when we had qualified for what is now the Confederations Cup, used to be the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
We traveled Africa without any coaches. Jomo didn't travel with us for whatever reason. Then it was 800, then it was 1,600. Hey, it was big time, my friend.
Yeah, you're rolling now.
Imagine how much you can drink. Oh my gosh. now we can live our life. Eh? Yeah, and then obviously what happened there is that Cosmos, which says a lot about how the club was run and what was happening, because we as with no coach, I think Roy Matthews went to one game away, and I think Jomo went to one. But we got to the semi-finals. We got to the semi-finnals. I think we lost to Africa Sports from Ivory Coast. And so we did really well with.
That's big time, man.
For us, I mean, if I think back, we got readmitted to World Football '92.
Yes.
So we probably one of the first clubs that were traveling Africa, and I get to semi-finals, and in the local league, which is obviously, if we call it now the Premiership, we got relegated as Cosmos. We got relegated for whatever reasons. Coach
And you had a great
changing.
team, man. They had a great team at that time.
Well, it ended up, I think it proved where we got relegated, and then the next season, obviously, we certain stories how we found ourselves at Pirates. It's not like, there's many
What stories are these? I didn't read
Wait,
those.
you found yourself at Pirates. Didn't Pirates buy you?
So my friend.
Or you just...
There's a few stories, and people, some stories you don't tell, some stories. But so when we got relegated, I think Pirates, Chiefs, and Cosmos offices were in Hillbrow still. And I was on my way to see Jomo.
Yeah.
And I think the old PRO from Chiefs, I think Louis Chokwani, I think it's...
Patko Mafani? Not Patko?
No, I'm not sure. Anyway.
Because I know Chokwani was for Sundowns.
Well, there's one of them anyway.
Yeah.
And he saw me on the streets on my way to the offices, and I said, we just started chatting, and he said, no, you'd like, you want me to be telling this?
Yeah.
He
Come on, it's 2022.
And still the same people running football. He just said to me, the Chiefs fans, whether he was telling the truth or not, he said the Chiefs fans had been writing to him, and they would like to see me and Lucas play together. Yeah. Before Lucas obviously went to Leeds. And then I went upstairs and sitting there and speaking to Jomo, and I said, Jomo, I met this guy downstairs, and I'd like to maybe go to Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah. He says, if you sign for Kaizer Chiefs, I'll make sure you never play football in this country again. Yo, boom, there it is. Anyway, so I found myself at Pirates. But again, Pirates was it was obviously a massive eye opener for me. Going from Cosmos Pirates, you can imagine. And what I was leading to is that from our Cosmos team, it was myself, Helman went, Chris Mwakabuki. Then there was maybe. The older guys might know there was a guy called Tony Catano, who was a fantastic winger for Cosmos and obviously at Pirates. And there's I'm trying to think, another two players. I think it was 6 of us that went to Pirates. And obviously at Pirates had 1 or 2 players still there. I think like Bernard Lashawzi, and some of them were coming to the end of their career, but they were there. So Innocent Mngongo was the other one with us. And obviously the chairman had decided to change the team. Anyway, and that team went on to win the league. So,
you won a couple of titles,
so, no, but that league specifically, after being relegated, you know, and I think of those players, I think of the starting 11, I think 5 of us were prominent players in that starting 11. So it was an eye opener to say, okay, well, what happened there, and you know what's happening here. So
is it true that Dr. Ivan Khoza tried to buy shoes Moshoeu by asking the fans to give him R1 each?
Yeah, that's
is that true?
I remember that story. Yeah.
That's wild.
I Duke.
No, that's listen. Yeah, I mean, Shoes was an unbelievable footballer. And a good guy, very good guy. So I enjoyed Shoes, but yeah, they did. They did try and buy
they wanted to buy the shoes on lay-by.
Then, 100% buy the Then was lay-by.
Back in those days, was Muthi like prevalent in those days? Like, were you guys using Muthi and stuff?
Like in the dressing room, like officially.
No. Like we spoke to Teko, he said it's a real thing.
And that's a more modern player.
Yeah.
No, man, of course it was relevant. Sure. You must understand, so I get to Cosmos now, and remember, it was semi-professional. So we trained at Cosmos. When I got to Cosmos, we were still only training twice a week and then playing on the weekend. And now I'm playing my first game in Vosloorus, and we get to the stadium, and then get in the change room, and you get this guy, he says, no, you must put your boots in the middle of the change room. I'm like, why? So next minute, the guy walks around, he's flicking dirty water. I'm like, my friend, don't do that. I polish my own boots. You don't polish my boots. What are you doing? So that was my first experience with Jomo. I know Jomo also, we know he believes in it, and that's fine. You can believe in it. And then obviously you go from, I think, relatively small in comparison, then you go to Orlando Pirates. My man, we experienced one or two things. I remember, is it Rio Stars that used to play in Polokwane? We're driving towards the stadium. You see the stadium there? And you see then the combi or the convoy of cars. We're driving this way away, but the stadium's there. Driving. My friend, we stop at a supporter's house.
Whoa.
The guy opens the garage. You know the paper boards that you get? Mike McCabe is doing the team talk. We are changing in this guy's garage. The kit, must understand, the kit is brown already. It's been washed, it's brown already, it's not white.
Jeez.
So it's like, okay. And then we all get changed, and now we go towards the stadium. So then we're driving towards the stadium, the entrance, but now we're going that way. Not there's the entrance. Why are we not going? We drive around the back. All the Pirates fans we're looking at their backs. So one stand and it's full. Man, the guy walks up, cuts a hole in the fence, opens it. And we walk down the stairs between our Pirates fans, and they're cheering us, whatever. I don't know if we're saying hello. Anyway, we obviously, their thinking was we mustn't go anywhere in the change room, near to the change room, or whatever. Okay, we won 1-0, so maybe it works. But I'm saying there was an experience. And then I think again, you know, so I'm a God-fearing man, and we all have our beliefs, this and that. But, you know, for us to win the 95, the African Champions League. It was, you know, that was bathing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, then we get to the stadium. We have to go down towards the change room, but now we're holding single hand like us, the whole team. A bunch of men holding hands going in on, really? So we go down, and then we stay outside our change room. We don't go in. But then CAF tells us we must go in. So our guy goes in quickly, burns some stuff, whatever. We go in, we go out. The game kicks off, I think, within the first 20 seconds. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we drew 2-2 at home. It was two-legged final. 2-2 at home. No one gave us a chance. That they 2 away goals. They're a strong team. They're very good. And especially in Ivory Coast. Anyway, the kick-off, I think the first 20 seconds, they get the ball down wide, the winger crosses, the oak headers, it's just over the crossbar. I looked at Gavin Lane, I said, listen, my friend, today's a long day. Today's a long day. And however it worked out, we defended the best we could as a team. We did everything we possibly could to just maybe create one opportunity. And the one opportunity that did come, that was still even eerie because I kicked the ball as far as I could. And some people say it was a through ball for Jerry. It was never a through ball. I kicked it as high as I could. The ball bounced literally on the halfway line. There's 2 central defenders ran into each other.
Whoa.
They fell over. Jerry got the ball. Still had a lot to do. Ran nearly a good 30 meters with the ball, and then the goalkeeper came out. He went around the goalkeeper and scored. But yeah, and even though I think we still had, I think that was like the 72nd minute. Damn. So you can imagine how much extra time they put on.
Still had to defend.
We still had to defend that 1-0, and we did.
Oh,
somehow. No, it's fortunate.
Yeah, this team would never.
Applause, guys.
These recent Bafana teams could never.
That's some legendary stuff,
bro.
What? Well, speaking about the class of '95, I got some questions I want to ask you about your teammates. Do you still remember who you played with there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Some of them I want to remember, some I don't.
Tell us, who was the jokester in the dressing room?
My gents.
Edward
Muthi, my gents.
Edward.
He was my roommate as well. So when you asked if I stayed in Soweto when I played Pirates, no, I didn't. I stayed in Pretoria, and there was 4 of us. It was me, Eddie. Eddie had the car.
Yeah.
Okay, but when I first signed, so I got my car in '94. But anyway, Eddie, Opa Mabuza, and Aubrey Lakwani. Aubrey used to be a warden at the prison.
Yeah,
it was the 4 of us. So we drive through from Pretoria, and then we were training at Megawatt Park then. We would train there. So yeah, but Magents was the
jokester.
The jokester for sure.
What jokes would he pull?
Nah, I don't tell you.
Well, he's funny though.
No, he's very funny. You can watch him, but he also makes up rubbish. And but he will entertain all of you. But I just shake my head and say no.
Most talented
that I played with.
Yeah, no, in that team, class of '95, who was the most talented?
So we had some really good players. I mean, we had good individual players, but we gelled as a team,
as a unit.
Yeah,
Okpara was a fantastic goalkeeper. You know that Nigerian. He is a strong animal. He's just he's hard, and he was just me as a defender to have him in the defense. That's he played a very, very important role. In midfield, John Muthi was fantastic.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about
He's
Pirates?
talking about Pirates.
Yeah, 95.
He's talking about the star-winning team.
That's 96.
Oh,
that's
shit.
96.
That's 96.
You're talking about the AFCON, not the AFCON, the star-winning, the Champions League
Pirates,
team.
Man, I'm talking about Bafana Van.
Don't you say that. No. But you want to talk about the national team?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no one remembers that Pirates team.
For me, what we did in Abidjan was bigger than we did.
No
for me
ways.
As a player. No, for me as a player.
You haven't done that 96 as Bafana Van. We haven't done that since.
No, I get that. So that's
how monumental.
Sundowns also won the Champions League, but it's they had a team disqualified. They got a quick way in, so they're trying to do it now. I'm not sure, but anyway. That holds close to me. But the 96 year, if you want to talk about it, 96 year. So the most talented player.
Yeah.
For me, shoes.
Yeah.
For me, shoes. No, you get doctor and shoes, but for me, I enjoy it. Yeah, both were unbelievable. You give the ball to them, they could make things happen, definitely.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed shoes.
Do you agree with him, so?
Yo, man, they were both shoes and doctor. That's tough, bro.
It's like Messi and Ronaldo. Which one you like? It's one of them. So
shoes, doctor is tough, man. I'd say doctor because he sort of even owns that jersey. When people see a picture of that jersey, they think doctor first, before anybody else.
All right, cool. Best dressed in the dressing room?
Yeah, me. Okay. No, I'm the youngster, man. I was trending, brother. I was trending. I got my dollars there. You must remember, I was the youngest player in the squad.
Yeah.
So I was 21. So when we're talking to my teammates, I think, so if I'm 48, Lucas is 50, so most of them were 5, 6, and then obviously some of them are older, but at least 5 or 6 years older than me. So, I was a trendsetter. Wow, when you're talking about the jokester, then it's, if you're talking 96, then it's Williams.
Oh, Williams.
The Nathan builder.
Yeah.
Old Willies. We had, fortunately in that squad, I think that's what maybe, unfortunately, lacks. Maybe we had a lot of characters in that squad. When I say characters, you asked now the jokester. You had Williams was a jokester, but and then I was a jokester. You had the late Caesar Matong as well. He was a strong character, and then you got. you know, obviously then you got Lucas and then you had Neil Tovey.
Yes, jeez. That
And then, you know, and the late Philemon Masinga. It was,
man, tough.
that was, there were characters and there were individuals that obviously together we were fortunate. We molded well as a team.
Who was the fastest?
In that team,
Yeah.
probably me or Helmut.
I knew you were going to
No, I'm
say.
serious.
For real.
Why are you laughing? It's real, my friend.
No way.
All Caesar, yeah, 100%.
Caesar was quick on the
Yeah.
You don't know how quick I was, my friend. I had to run against young Michael Owen and that, my friend, and, and Terry Henry.
Yeah. Jeez.
No, but on a serious note, I think it was either probably pushed. I think it would be close.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
And that's without a ball, eh?
Yeah.
But with the ball, maybe Helman. Maybe Helman. We'll stick to Helman.
Do you think you got rewarded enough by Safa for 96?
Who, us?
Yeah.
What's enough? I think at that time, I know it came out. Obviously, we saw the issues now, you know, with Banyana winning and can't pay and can't do this or whatever. But I know that when it came out, it was, I think it was like 3.8 million that we got.
Jeez.
Which meant that each player, including the coaching staff, I think it worked out to 96,000. Which was, money didn't bother me there because at the time, through the tournament, you know, I was very fortunate now.
You got a scout.
I had been scouted and I had the opportunity to go to that team there and Lazio in Italy. So, but yeah, it was, at the time, it wasn't a
big thing.
You know, it didn't really matter.
Who partied the most?
Me again. I'll be honest, guys. And I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to pinpoint any of my teammates and say, but I'm going to say if it's me, if it's not me, then it's going to be Williams. That's for sure. Williams. But again, I was the youngster, so I was the one.
Oh man, you were five. Hey, my fish was a five. Eh?
I was making trouble. But anyway.
Last one. Who was the ladies' man? Me?
Nah, sure.
I'd say Caesar.
Yeah, she's with a few of them, but no, I think a lot of them, there were many ladies in that team.
No. Who was getting less ass? Like, who was getting the least ass?
The least?
Yeah.
Nah, sure.
I think it's Tinkler or David Nyati. Between Tinkler and Nyati, man.
Nah, we could have a toss-up on it. But no. I think we're fortunate that team, I think everyone got ass. Everyone got ass.
No, nice one, man. So is it true that you were talking about scouts for Man United, but one of the guys that saw you play was Sir Bobby Charlton, who recommended you to Sir Alex, right? Is that what happened? That's crazy.
It was, yeah.
So he saw you from the AFCON.
Yeah, he came out the AFCON, and at the time I had people that were representing me, and he had spoken to them, and we were under agreement that we went to Manchester United and Lazio in Italy.
Yeah.
Those were the two clubs, and after the AFCON, I think it could have been about 2 weeks later, we flew out, went to meet Sir Alex Ferguson.
So you met him?
At Old Trafford. And it was still on Monday night, so they were playing against Everton. Remember it? And afterwards, we sat in his office, and he just wanted me to train with the team and see if I can.
And you were a Man United supporter growing up.
I was very younger, not wise. No, I did. No, I admit it. I was obviously, growing up for me, it was, we didn't have TV as we have now.
Yes, yeah.
So growing up, I think we would only, if possible, you'd only get the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And the FA Cup final would either be a Man United, and
Chelsea,
Liverpool,
whatever.
No, I think Chelsea really, and an Arsenal. And so a lot of South African fans were those supporters of that. So yeah, I was a Man United fan, and then. Yeah, I went there, and then we just, the people representing me said, no, we're under obligation to go to Lazio as well.
Which team were you going to be a part of if you did sign for Man U that year?
What do you mean, for the first team?
Yeah, I'm saying, is it the Beckham era?
The Giggs, right, Giggs.
Pushing
Eric
into
Cantona.
that, just before, Eric Cantona had left already. We're talking 96, so I think the defenders would have been, Steve Bruce was still there, Pallister.
Japstam.
But then, I think Japstam had he been there? Could have been Japstam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's sort of...
That was a good team.
Very good team.
Jeez, would have won a title.
We would have won that title I never won. That you said.
Yeah.
100%.
Could you understand
100%.
Fergie when he spoke? Because a lot of people struggle with his accent.
Okay, it's fine. The Scottish accent.
Yeah, could you follow?
It's okay. No, it's
But
okay.
that's wild. How do you say no to Sir Alex?
No, we didn't say no. Again, as I said, we went to Italy, and they just, after a meeting, they just wanted to sign me straight away. So I had to do an 8-hour medical, which fortunately I passed, and then next month found myself, I know what you're saying, like as a Man United fan or not going to Old Trafford, but then in the mid-90s still signed for Lazio in the Serie A.
Serie A was booming.
It was booming again, and as a defender, it's the best place to go learn your trade.
Oh, yeah. Personally.
And again, we'll go on it again. I was single, so a lot better looking chicks in Rome than in Manchester, my friend.
There's no big nyash in Manchester.
You would know. you researched at a strip club you couldn't even touch. Wait, why is it easier as a defender to go play in Italy?
No, not easier, better for your career.
Yeah.
Italians are known for defending. They're
the best.
They've been the
Fair
best.
enough, fair enough.
Well, not of late, but yeah. But in that era, certainly.
So if you wanted to go to Manchester, you could have. Like, you could have said no to the Lazio deal.
No, you could have.
You could have, ne?
Yeah.
Shit, man. I still find that's unbelievable. Like,
No, but I didn't say no. So anyway, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You had Lazio for how long?
Just for a season, because what had happened then, they changed the coach, and also we had played as South Africa. We played a friendly against England at Old Trafford. And the coach for Bolton had just been promoted. That he came and watched the game, and then he wanted to sign me from Lazio. So, even my pre-season training, before I even went to Bolton, I was training at Bologna.
Oh, okay. I know Bologna in Italy.
You heard of it?
Yeah.
And
But
do you know who was playing there at the time?
No.
The great Roberto Baggio.
Oh, was he?
He was there, so I had pre-season training with him.
That's insane.
Phenomenal. What a phenomenal player and a phenomenal person.
Yeah. Didn't Bayern Munich also want you as well?
There was Bayern Munich. There was even not Al Ahly, Zamalek. Yeah, when we left, when the AFCON finished.
You were a big deal, eh, man?
It was, whatever.
You almost swayed.
Nah, I didn't. Whatever.
Man, it's a safe space, man. You can say whatever.
So we've got a game that we're playing. I'm going to try and make him sway before the end of the show.
Won't happen.
So Bolton, when you go there for £2.5 million, that's massive, right? At that time. Is that the biggest transfer fee in SA history at the time?
No, I think at the time, maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Jeez.
Okay, but there's a reason for that as well. Going to Bolton, my deal to Lazio, it was a specific package, and I was meant to get a certain amount of money.
If you get X amount of games?
No. Before I even signed for Lazio, I was meant to get a certain amount of money, and unfortunately I didn't get it.
Oh, I see.
Why? You know why?
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
The club that owned me, half was still owned by Jomo.
Yeah.
And they went there and they took all the money anyway.
Hey, Jomo.
No, not Jomo.
Pulled an Italian job on you.
No, Jomo didn't take all the money.
Oh, not him?
I didn't. Jomo owned half of me.
Yeah.
You owned the other half.
Oh, your people.
Atlanta Pirates.
Oh!
Whoa. Really, guys?
Hey!
To draw a picture for you guys. Come on. Do you want me to say it? No, you want me to come out with it? And that's what happened. So I found myself at the age of 21.
Jeez, man.
This is what happened. And then they said to me, well, it's up to you. What do you want to do? Then, do I come back to South Africa? Come back and give a sob story, whatever, or just... Money's money. It's not a big thing. We just try and make it up and whatever. So that's why when eventually that Bolton deal came, that's why it was that, because the people representing me now, because I got a new agent, obviously, he made sure that I received that money back from the new deal. So
nice. So it worked out.
Yeah. It was actually Lucas's agent, so a friend of mine put me on to him. So
And Bolton, who are you playing with in Bolton?
Of players that you might know.
Yeah.
So probably the most prevalent one is Idago Johnson that played for Chelsea and went to Barcelona. Yeah, he's probably the most.
Yeah, they sold him the same year they sold you as well. But that didn't go smooth apparently, because like Sam Allardyce didn't want you to go.
Yeah, that's a difficult man. It's an interesting character. Sam Allardyce, what had happened was that Charlton had got hold of me, and I came back earlier from holiday, and I went to do a medical, and they picked up an injury, a scar on my knee. So they were a little bit reluctant, but they said they will keep an eye on me, and I knew it was fine. I knew it was old anyway. And for the nearly first 3 months of the season, I was still playing for Bolton, and Sam Allardyce was trying to get me to sign a new contract and sign this, and I just said no, because I didn't want to, because we were then in the Championship, as Bolton, and said no, I want to go play in the Premier League. So he made it very difficult, and to the point where, he didn't allow me to say goodbye to my teammates.
Damn.
Whoa.
But eventually, I mean, I saw him a couple of years later when they got back into the Premiership and we played against them at the Valley. It was just something that wasn't handled right. But anyway, it was.
How do coaches make it difficult? Because it's not a simple thing of, hey man, I want to leave. Ciao. Bye-bye, it's been great.
At the time, he was also trying to get me to sign with the guy, his agent. So it just made it unpleasant for me. But anyway, it was just one of those things.
Who would you say was the hardest striker you played against in the Premier League? Because that era, there were like Michael Owen, like you said.
Nah, so Michael, you see how you meet it. There you go, Michael Owen, you go Robbie Fowler, you go Terry Henry. But you had some, and so Henry didn't play as an out-and-out striker. You get the ball wide, you run it, you say he wasn't. But, Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer, I mean, he's still the highest goal scorer.
Yeah.
But, he's obviously, you don't want to give him a chance, but then he was hard.
Yeah.
So, and then, not like the footballers today, you touch, they roll it down, they're dying, and the striker could still got a freaking elbow you in the face and grab your nuts and whatever. They do everything. It's like, and then I don't know if anyone remember. There used to be a guy called Dunk Ferguson.
Yeah,
he was
Duncan
Scottish,
Ferguson.
He played for Everton. Oh my gosh, it's the ball goes off. Anyway, the first goal kick, and that elbow's coming, man, and he just elbows you, and it's like, really, Dunk, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah.
We're gonna win today. I'm like, whatever, man. That was harder. If someone's playing football, then that's okay. If you get quick players and players that are good with the ball at their feet, but when it's a mixture of both, I think that's it.
Yeah.
But hard players and also and good players. But also, those are the players you want to play in week in, week out, because they're helping you to become a better player.
Yeah, man. I can't even start. Can you even understand the mental space these guys go through? Because at any given time, you could just be out of a team, bro. You can't get a team. No one wants you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, basically, in football. Did that ever discourage you in any way?
No.
Because it's uncertain. You could break your leg. You can't move to a team.
No, for sure. So I think that we went through that era. Remember when it was club versus country?
Yeah.
So before we got into the FIFA calendar, so that became an issue for me at Bolton, where the club knew when they signed me in '97. The '98 I went to the AFCON, so they weren't happy about that, but they knew it. We weren't on the same calendar, and then obviously started having World Cup qualifiers. We still weren't on the same as UEFA's calendar like we are now.
Yeah.
We're on the same calendar, so you get a little bit of animosity from the coaches, and they don't like it that you keep leaving. Every third weekend you're not there, you're playing a qualifier or whatever it is. So I think that was a challenge, definitely.
Yeah. And then because you're from Africa, do they treat you differently?
No,
It's the same,
man.
Same, ne?
Yeah, it's the same old. We're all Africans, my friend. I mean, I was very fortunate to, after '96, that not many people know that, they obviously select the best AFCON team, and I think it was me and Shoes that made that team, and then I was selected for the World 11.
Wow.
So I went to New York and played in it, and then you're playing with the guys you watch on TV. George Weah. I mean, you're meeting George Weah, Marcel Desailly, Jurgen Klinsmann, Lothar Matthäus. I mean, those are old names. I don't think you remember them.
No, I remember all of them. Yeah.
But you're now playing with these guys. And then even Redondo. I don't think you even know who Redondo is. He played for Real Madrid, a midfielder, left-footed midfielder. Yeah, no, so I was very fortunate from. That's why I think for me, '95 was so important, because from winning the African Champions League that was that momentum for me and in South African football at the time as well, where we win the African Championship, Champions League, sorry, then you win the AFCON. And then, you know, for me, then I now won the AFCON, part of the AFCON team, now going to play World 11, now I'm going to Italy. So that's why 95 always feels it's where it started. It's where it started, and it's key for me. It's very important for
beautiful,
where I grew.
How was it like playing with Sean Bartlett at Charlton?
Bart's, you drive me mad because Bart's is a hard worker.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that if he focused so, in a minute and nice way, if he was just an out-and-out striker and just worry about scoring goals, I think he would have scored more goals. But he was a team player. And sometimes I'd find him in the 18-yard trying to defend. I'm like, what are you doing here? Just go stand here. You must try and score goals. But Bart's a hard worker and I mean, he's still, I think the BBC, he's gave the goal of the year to his goal against Leicester.
I remember, yes.
Against Leicester.
Yeah, that was a crazy goal. Yeah.
Similar to
remember that goal?
No. What happened?
What?
The ball got played over his shoulder, and once it came over his shoulder, the goals were there, and he hit it first time with his left foot.
And
I think that year, Paulo Di Canio won the same, but for Sky, goal of the year.
Whoa.
But it was too
Let's check the highlights. It's a crazy goal.
For real.
Crazy, massive
Check it
goal.
out, man.
Is the EPL as good as they make it out to be, or is it just good marketing?
I think a bit of both. I think at the time then, as you became bigger when they had the right idea. They brought in obviously the top best players from other countries to as you said, market the league. Again, a lot of people, if you look at it now and you look at the EPL, you either get a lot of guys are either British football fans or EPL fans or
La Liga.
Yeah. Again, and you look at it, the year before it was Man City and Chelsea, and Chelsea won it. And then last year, then if you want to compete, it's Liverpool, EPL, and you got La Liga, and then La Liga won it. So for me, I think it's the game is quick. I think it's the challenge. Again, I think for the football at the moment, the challenge is the VAR system.
Oh yeah,
it's a big problem.
Yeah,
and I think it's the refereeing is a big problem. Allowing the referee to make a decision, and the fourth official, then still the referee must go make a decision. The people watching it should be making a decision. It should be more instantaneous. So, and they're making wrong decisions, even though they've got their say what looks wrong to us anyway. So I think that's a challenge, and will we ever see VAR in South Africa?
Yeah.
Will we?
I don't know, man.
Well, I don't
doubt it. Highly doubt it.
It's not coming back.
No.
No brown envelopes then, you know what I mean? That's the problem, right?
You're 100% right. What's now, you're watching, it's a Kusafa. I was now in Swaziland, Kusafa tournament for under 20s, and you're watching and it's, okay, so if you win that, if you get to the final for that tournament, the top two go through to the AFCON.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing for the Kusafa region. And then, obviously you go to the AFCON, and the top four then go to the World Cup. So it's a big thing, but we don't have enough. If we want to evolve with the world of football, you need to be doing these things. The World Cup qualifiers, if we want to go back, the South Africa-Ghana game, whether we saw whatever, if it was VAR, why don't we have VAR? It's a World Cup qualifier. So it's certain things need to change if we want to keep up with the times. 100%.
Is that why you are supporting Ria Lidwaba?
I think football needed to change. Definitely. I think that we know what's happening in football. We know, and we don't see enough progress. When I say enough progress, meaning that everyone talks about development. What are we doing to actually develop the game? Now, I don't believe developing the game is the way that Patrice Motsepe is now the CAF president, and he's putting more money into the CAF Champions League. Yes, more money. Okay. The women's I understand because they don't. It's not as big. Hasn't been as long around as the men. But they're putting more money into the CAF Champions League now, and they want to create that Super League. Now, my friend, the Super League is going to contain which teams?
The big leagues.
It's going to be all the big teams on the continent. So what is going to happen to the teams that are trying to get into the Champions League? Trying to get in Champions League? Or there's not. So you're building the marketing of the thing, but not the developing of the game. And it's so key at the moment because we look again at the last World Cup. None of the African teams went through to the second round.
Yep.
So there's
I think it's
something.
going to happen again this World Cup.
Yeah,
It's
I
going to be
think so.
difficult for them to go through. So again, so what are we doing to catch up to the rest of the world? So it's a
Speaking
challenge.
of thingy, football in Africa and the corruption and the madness, how was that trip you guys took in '97 to Congo? I think there's a picture of you with blood. Like during the game, and there were like soldiers with AK-47s at your training ground, at the stadium by the touchline. How was that trip, man? That thing looked like hell.
Again, so we, that's why the 97. So when we first travelled with Cosmos 93, you start evolving as a team. So 94 is a little bit better, but still you're going into the darkest places in Africa, and then the team wants to intimidate you. So they put you in a hotel. It's not the best hotel. There's a lot of prostitutes. To try and encourage blokes, whatever. The food isn't good, and you adapt anyway, and then so by '97, us as Bafana we had our own chef. So we took, we were growing as a nation now, so we could make our own food. So the only way they could actually intimidate us would be on the football field, or going towards the football field, or this and that, and that's what they tried to do. As we know, you're allowed to train on the field the day before, wherever it's a rule, and we were going to the training ground, wanting to the match day field. Wanting to train, and the soldiers just cocked their guns and said, "No, you're not coming onto the field." And we just stood there and like, "Okay, should we or not? This is Congo we're talking about." We're new to that Central Africa. And then Dr. Ivan Koza, he was the one part of the team from SAFA that was with us, and he just walked and pushed the soldier's gun to the side. He said, "Come."
Wow.
That's what he did.
Juke, eh?
Wow. I did juke. He just said, "How come you guys got trained?" So, but anyway, so we did get intimidated. Definitely, they tried their best. So
where does
it
the
was
blood come
really
from?
a grudge matter. It was unfortunately the way they did things. It didn't make it nice. So by the time we had to play the last game, I think we had to. I'm not sure if we had to beat them or just draw, but obviously the late Philemon Masinga scored an unbelievable goal, and we won 1-0, and we were going to France '98. But it became more than just a football match. It wasn't the way they treated us there, and we always say, "But why don't we do the same?" Okay, well, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
But even when we had finished the game, obviously now we had beaten them, we didn't like each other. It was like, "Yeah, well, you're not getting to the World Cup. This is the way you treated us is what you deserve." It wasn't nice. So that's not football. What football's around.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And how did you get? Was it the same game where you had like blood on your jersey?
So unfortunately, I don't know, they targeted me. I don't know why. Why are you targeting a defender? Really? What you on about? But so the striker, quite a few occasions, elbowed me, and then there was a challenge. Okay, that was maybe just a missed time, whatever. He went up for a header, but he headbutted me. But it ended up being particularly on the same spot. So I think it was literally about 5 minutes before half time. Then I went off, and then the doctor stitched me up, and he said, "No, it's not worth it. Don't go back on." So I never went back the second half.
That's crazy.
But it was one of those things. That's what makes you strong, man. Makes you stronger. It's one of those
I was reading
experiences.
an article from Mario Balotelli, Balotelli, and he was saying, as Africans, we should all stop playing in Europe, come back home, and just build our own league. What do you think about that?
No, he says a lot of sensible things there. Okay.
It's like they already have so much money from that side. Let's bring it home, build stadiums, build a nice league.
Well, I think that is what CAF is, what they are trying to do. Before lockdown, I was part of the team, whatever we went to and analyze stadiums around Africa, and that's why it's one of the reasons why Zimbabwe is kicked out, because they were warned that they need to fix their stadiums up, to be able to play in the World Cup qualifiers or AFCON qualifiers, and so they're trying to, which is the right thing. I mean, we go and I saw it going to Zimbabwe, and I saw it going to Zambia, where as a player you get treated phenomenal. Whatever, you get on a bus, you get to the stadium, you walk that little passage, you're in the change room, and it's and you go out to play football or whatever in front of a crowd, whatever. So as a player, that's what you experience. But then you go to the stadium with the stands and the toilets, and how the stadiums are not properly they need to be refurbished. to fixed up, and it's you need to take care of the fans as well. It's very important so that everyone can have that experience of playing football, but in watching football and enjoying it. And I think that's something good that they're trying to do, Cav.
I mean, imagine the guys that won World Cup France. Imagine if all those guys played for the African, where they come from.
Oh yeah, African team are made of Africans, essentially.
Who do you think is going to take this World Cup?
That's a difficult one, eh?
Yeah.
I think it's really difficult. I think it's the first World Cup in a long time where it's really.
It's up
there.
in the air.
There's, I mean, we could name a couple of teams, but you expect France to be there and about again. You know,
Brazil's looking good.
Brazil looks very good, but so
Even
does
Argentina.
Because in their qualifications, they drew against each other both games.
Yeah.
So Argentina and Messi's last swan song. Then you never know what the Portuguese are going to do with it. So, there's a lot of teams. And
which team are you supporting locally? And in the EPL, which teams do you support right now?
So I don't support anyone.
Come on.
No, I don't support. I mean, I support, actually. I will support my mates that I played with.
Oh, okay.
So that's coaches now.
Oh,
so I want them to do well. Doesn't if you know? But obviously, everyone will say once a pirate, always a pirate. I'm not going to lose sleep if Pirates lose. It's not a big thing for me. But you know, like when Benny was coaching, it was enjoyable to see him doing well. Tinks as well, Gavin Hunt, the guys that I know that I played football against and played with. If I'm missing someone, then as well. But I enjoy seeing my teammates that I played with or played against doing well as coaches.
You used to play for Pirates. You now stay in Durban. So that's AmaZulu and Pirates. Who you're supporting then in the final? You have to choose a team in the MTN 8 final.
That's a good one. I don't have to choose a team, do I? I don't have to choose it.
No, for the sake of the podcast, man.
For the sake of the podcast?
Yeah.
So Pirates, I was, like I said, I was amazed to see the result 3-0. So hopefully they're moving in the right direction. I've got one or two people that's close at Pirates, AmaZulu, Durban. I'm going to go. Let's go AmaZulu, my friend. Let's go AmaZulu, KZN. One of their first trophies they won in a long time. So, it's just nice for football, man. But remember, I'm very wrong with my predictions anyway. So it's not a prediction, and it's not a wish. It's just that's just answering your question.
Let's talk about your love life, man. What's happening? You single? You dating? What's going on?
No, I'm married again. I've got
again?
Yeah, I've got a good wife. A little bit older than me.
100%.
A little bit older than me, a little bit wiser, and she's a good person, good soul for me. So I'm very much relaxed and very happy where I am in my love life.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Why did you decide to go older? You're tired of these young girls, eh?
Yeah, no, she's just. We've both been through. We've had our kids and this and that, and it's just. It works.
What's the age gap?
No, she turns 50 this year.
That's not bad.
No,
it's 2 years.
For me. So it's older for me. But older, she's wiser and she's more chilled.
So your ex-wife released an autobiography, right? It's called Walking in My Shoes.
Oh my gosh, you're still giving her airtime, yeah?
Yeah, in which she labeled you a cocaine-sniffing, stripper-loving serial
100%.
cheater.
100%.
Is that true?
100%.
No way!
No way! She rock star!
So now, my friend, it took her... Where did she write that book? It took her about 6 years later to apologize to me.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she makes rubbish up. But a lot of those things I did do, but a lot of things I didn't do. So she just... She wanted to claw. She wanted to claw into that, and she thought that would help her sell books. I don't think she's sold too many.
So which ones are true? Cocaine sniffing, is that true?
I've tried it.
Hey!
Rock star fish.
Hey. Should it happen, China?
Hey.
But I think that's a known story. That unfortunately, again, we'll talk football and went through. So they are retired, come back to South Africa, this and that. And unfortunately, because of her, it was one of those things where I was actually getting divorced in the UK, and then I found out what she did. So she came back to South Africa, and then we said, okay, let's try. And then when she wants to try, she buys the biggest house and that. And I'm like, you're trying to keep peace. And like, just get it.
Yeah.
And then you know it's not working. And then that's what happened is that, let's try this. Maybe it'll bring us closer. And it didn't.
So she got you into it.
Then I left.
Gee. So you didn't do it while you were playing?
No, you're mad.
Oh, okay.
Hey, come on.
No, man, I played.
Maradona did.
Maradona could. Maradona. No, certainly not. No, I tried it in 2008.
Yeah.
2008, 7, 8, somewhere there.
Yeah. And you're like, it's not for me.
No, definitely not.
And then the stripper loving. Come on, every guy.
Yeah, man, we all.
No, it's been there and done that, whatever, man. It was plenty.
Serial cheater. No, you can't be a cheater.
What's a serial cheater?
Like
What's
someone
that?
who cheats all the time, like serially.
Is that a serial cheater?
Serially? What the fuck? Like serially? Like serially? Like serially? What is that?
Listen, at the end of the days, I've done many things. Many wrong things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes, I have hurt many people. But I've asked for forgiveness and I apologize about that, and so we move on. But my friend, there's many things that no one knows and that I would never tell.
Yeah.
Why? What for?
Yeah, no. So I don't know because I'm not a serial cheater, so I don't know.
No. You're not going to get any reaction from me, my friend. So whatever.
No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Would you encourage your kids to play football, like professionally?
So my oldest son was very skillful, very good with soccer ball, but no heart. He's now 24, so no. 21-year-old, a little bit more committed, but he unfortunately chose to go live with his mom. Anyway, whatever story. So my daughter's a swimmer. But she's a good swimmer. But anyway, she's a character. I think of all the kids, she's got the most of my character.
Yeah.
And then my youngest one now that turns 9 in November, he enjoys football, but it's like I just stand and watch and then enjoy. But I enjoy watching him play rugby.
Yeah.
He's quick, he's a little nippy with
rocking,
the ball,
yeah.
and so. But you know, again, we all as parents we always say we will support him to hopefully go in the right direction. But yeah, if it's football, I think that if you speak to a lot of football individuals and say would they encourage their kids to, very difficult I think to say that you would, knowing unfortunately how football is run, to push them in that direction. Unfortunately,
Knowing like the dark side of football.
The very dark side.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's crazy, man. Coaching? Are you thinking about coaching?
Me. And so I don't coach. I do football tournaments in the communities in KZN. I've started a shortened version of football. I'm really excited. You say nice. I'm really excited because I've just done up more of the rules, and it's something to help football a little bit, to become a little bit more exciting, to find talent. We have T20 cricket, which make cricket a little bit more exciting. We have sevens rugby, and you know, so this is to develop game. And I watch TV, and I watch the Kusafa under 20, and I watch the Bafana team play for 55 minutes against Mozambique, 10 men. They're losing 2-1, and they couldn't score an equalizer against 10 men. And how I've looked at the game and what we do and how we play it. If we do these rules changes for football development, most important, so we can teach the kids better habits at a younger age. It can only move football forward. So it's exciting.
Before we let you go, can you give me your top 11 players you played with?
Played with?
Starting from the keeper all the way to the front.
Sure.
Keeper is Okpara. You love
Okpara,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you love Okpara.
Yeah, we can keep a para there, that's for sure.
Okay.
Sure. You have to really make me think. So, okay, central defender, there's going to be me and Alessandro Nesta.
Nesta, you played with Nesta? Oh,
Yes,
Lazio.
So, on the right,
You know Nesta? Hey, Nesta was a
Know
beast.
the name, and it sounds
he played for AC
familiar.
Milan as well.
Yeah.
For that
yeah, but
team that won
remember,
the
but now I've
Champions-
also, you say best players I've played with, so I've just said I played in the World 11, I played in the African 11 against the European 11.
No, let's keep
No,
it.
that's difficult because then I played with JJ Okocha. You know, so I've also played against him. You know, then like I said, Masal Desai.
Okay, then give me your top 5 players that you played with.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep it like that. And don't count the world what. Because you guys didn't play like a whole season together.
Yeah, but you played against him? No, but it's fine. I played with George Weah, my friend, only African to be the world player of the year. So you asked me. Let me throw it in there. No, but if you have to say it, the best 5 players I've ever played with.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if it's for a charity, really.
Yes.
So, George Weah, my best player
Yeah.
that I know. Marcel Desailly,
Wow.
Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo.
The original.
The Brazilian. Yeah.
Yo.
Then, now put Nesta there. I'm probably missing someone that's really relevant. That's
Dr. Kumalo, no?
no, for all the shoes before Doctor. Remember I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
One more.
let's go Redondo.
Redondo.
Yeah.
Okay. Quality, eh?
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to have been there.
When did you
present.
play with Ronaldo?
Luis Figo had a charity game in Algarve. So it was, he mixed up the two teams, yeah. So Ronaldo was fortunately on my team, not against me.
I was watching Luis Figo's documentary the other day. What a wild story that he went through, man. Crazy. You must check it out. So
I've seen it where he leaves Barca for
Real Madrid.
I've seen it.
it's
Crazy.
wild.
I've seen
Don't
it.
do that,
Any question you got for?
Yeah, man.
Marcus?
It's two-pronged. It's mainly around the 98 World Cup, right?
Yeah,
there was this player nobody knew, Pierre Issa, and with the own goals. How was then the treatment of you guys to him? Like, how was the atmosphere?
Pierre
in the
Issa,
change
man.
room?
Hey.
That fucker.
No, so
And then also the Philippe Trousier, whatever his name is. How horrible was he?
Okay, no.
What the
so again,
man?
so unfortunately, Pierre Issa, obviously we know what happened and the 2 own goals, and that happened. I don't think it could have been pleasant for him as a player, what he went through. But it's a football game, and unfortunately it happened. Now, Philippe Trousier is another story. Philippe Trousier should never have been there. If I look at what happened, we win the AFCON 96. SAFA have now said to Clive Barker, you must qualify for World Cup. So we qualify for World Cup. So he's done that. Yeah. So now we go 97, and we go to what's the Confederations Cup, where they have all the champions, whatever. We play in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, I think we lost 1 and drew 2, but we played the Czech Republic, we played Uruguay, we drew 4-4 against Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia, but we lost to the Czech Republic that had just lost in the final of the Euro. Yeah. So anyway, Clive Barker sort of gets note about it, so he resigns before he actually gets fired. So okay, he's gone now, we understand that. So now now we go to 98 AFCON, Burkina Faso. They bring Jomo on board.
Yes.
So Jomo's now on board. Now, whatever you think about it, so now Jomo makes actually really important changes for Bafana, because now still leading up to the World Cup, but now he introduces Quinton Fortune, Benny McCarthy,
yes.
Dalrymple Buckley. You're having these players coming through that are playing in Europe, and it's time for them to come in. So really good changes. And even before our first game, Jomo called, I think it was me, Shoes, Lucas, Chipper. He called us in the room. He said, listen here, I think it was John Clary, but he said, there's this young goalkeeper, he's performing whatever, Brian Beloy. He's asking us for our opinion. We said, well, go with the youngster. You want to go? And that's when Brian came on board. So there was good changes that were happening. It's progressive change. You see that. So now we lose in the final. We lose to Egypt. Did anyone really expect us to win? Don't think so. But we lost in the final. This is now, probably the middle of February. We've qualified for the World Cup. Now the World Cup's June, July normally. Why not just leave Jomo there? Just leave him there. He's now changed the team, and sure, he's going to look around and probably add to the squad. What happens? They bring in Philippe Trousier. Philippe Trousier comes immediately when we had a camp in Switzerland, and anyway, he gets his squad and went eventually at the World Cup, and you're training. So if you were playing local-based players, now if you're locally based here in South Africa, and I'm not sure how many there were, and international based, immediately he would separate us.
What?
Local oaks do that. It's like, my friend, what do you do? So he's done that on the training ground. So you can imagine what happens. So, we obviously lost the first game. And then he said, no, but, okay, we got back to Vichy where we were staying. And I said, Lucas was captain, I was vice captain. He said, no, okay, we can go out until 1 o'clock in the morning. Because it's late there, and it's fine, late time, whatever. And I was sitting with 1 or 2 oaks, and we looked at 1 o'clock, came there, and we went like, nah, we're not going back. So then we went, no, we were sitting at the restaurant. We said, no, we're going to this club. I went to the club, and of a 24-man squad, 21 players were in that club.
You.
So you understand, he disrespected the players, what he had done, So we had no respect for him as an individual.
Yeah,
had no
of
respect
course,
for him.
man. What he did was fucked.
So the next morning, we wake up, and now he's obviously heard what is happening, and calls into a room, and he's like sitting there and asks, which of you players went out, and everyone just sits still.
Which were the 3 that didn't go?
I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. But anyway, and then next minute.
No, it does, because of team spirit, man. I mean, they sell out.
No.
Sell out.
So anyway, he says, which players, and everyone's quiet. No, he was one of them. He was like,
Oh, of course.
No.
He's not gonna join his peers.
So I put up my hand, and the next minute, once I put my hand, my brother was with at the restaurant, he puts up his hand, Chipper.
Yeah.
Puts up his hand. Next minute, it's 21 Oaks, hands up.
Yeah.
Then he's like,
Beautiful.
he's like a child. He goes, I quit. And I'm like, he's walking, I'm like, I hope so. Jeez. And it's because the atmosphere
he was killing
in the hotel and the training ground, he just was not a nice guy.
Man.
There's 3 Oaks was Lucas.
Yeah.
Captain, obviously.
Captain, of course, yeah.
The other one was Shoes.
Yeah.
Neil Toby?
No, Toby wasn't there. It was Hans Fonk.
Sell out.
Hans Fonk,
No, man, they're not
we
sellouts.
didn't know him to the World Cup. Sell out.
They're the 3 decent Oaks. The rest of the squad were really good. Really good.
Fonk him.
No, but I mean, even still, so he left, and then anyway, we eventually somehow convinced him. So we had the training that afternoon, but he was like a child. He was, I think Trot was with, Trot Malotto, and he would like call Trot over, whisper or talk to Trot, and then Trot will have to talk to us.
Whoa.
But the good thing about that team, we never saw that, because in the field, even though you lost, you still had the fighting spirit. You didn't down tools, you know.
No, of course. I mean, the second game against Denmark, we played really well, and then we still had a chance. But unfortunately, it's Saudi Arabia. We drew 2-2. Bartlett scored both goals. But it wasn't. I think with someone else at the helm. If it was Jomo, and I use Jomo example because they would have been the natural procession from the AFCON, you feel that the atmosphere would have been so much better, and you might have still lost 3-0 to France, but it would have just been better football, better environment, and actually just a better experience for everyone who was around the squad at the time.
So if you guys, 20-something of you, put up their hand that you went out, how come then Noti Mukwena and Brendan Augustine were sent back home for going out and partying?
Next time.
Or was it the other World Cup?
No, the same World Cup. That was the first night. So after losing to France, because we were only playing 3 days' time, whatever, he said, no, you can go and just blow steam. So anyway, we did. Then that was the second game. The players were allowed to, I think you had to be back in your room at 11. I think it was an off day. When I say off day, we trained. You had to be back in your room at 11, and anyway, whatever. Those 2 Oaks decided not to be back in room at 11.
Jesus, bro. Who drank
And it was strange because Brendan was my roommate.
Oh,
So it's like, I wake up the morning. No, you know what actually happened? I forget now. Is that he came back to the room. So they came back to the room, him and Naughty, whatever room Naughty was in.
Yeah.
But they had already decided, we're going out again. So they wanted to show face, because the security walks around, checks, everyone's in their room. So him and Naughty decided. Anyway, they went out again. So I didn't know that, sleeping. I wake up the next morning, I get ready. Brendan. Brendan's fast asleep. He's not waking up for anything. So then I go down for breakfast, and then I heard, caught them now, they're going home. I said, Brendan, what do you do? But anyway, so
That's wild, man. You were saying?
Yeah.
that's part of our experiences. So hopefully the guys learn. I'm sure football has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think that, again, it's always nice when we talk about the success of 95, 96. I'm talking about, for me, as I said, 98, even 2000. But, we had an era of football that missed out playing for their country, As you were saying, Escus is the players too many to mention to be able to play for the country, and that was a process. So, and we went into Africa and we experienced that, and it's slowly you hope that there's certain things that need to happen so that our football can develop to move forward. And I think in many ways it has. No, certainly whether the amount of money that the players get paid is might be an issue, but players need to be paid better because, as you said, you can break any, and what the players do with their money. So there's many things that has moved forward, which is very good for football, footballers specifically. We moving in the right direction. But again, as you said earlier, if we want to be qualifying for AFCONs and winning more Champions League titles or going to World Cups, we need to adapt and to how the rest of the world is moving.
Yeah. In closing, man, what do you want to be remembered as?
That thing you called me? What did you call me? What my ex-wife?
Cocaine.
Crack loving, cocaine sniffing from you steal
Whatever,
coke
man.
from strippers' butt cracks.
At the end of the day, if that's what makes you happy, you want to think of me like that. Whatever.
That's the best response.
You're a rock star, bro.
Whatever.
Bro, quick one, random. I once spotted you in Brixton. What are you doing in Brixton around 2016?
Brixton.
Yeah, Brixton is in Brixton in Joburg.
2016.
You're driving, 15, a Jeep Wrangler or something. You don't remember?
I did drive a Jeep Wrangler.
He was going to buy some coke. We spoke about it.
Oh, fuck.
At the strip club.
Whatever. That's a good chance. So whatever. Not 100% remember, but
nah, that's cool. Probably
it's a good question, but good answer.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the legendary
Yo, I was hoping you say that. Actually, when I said it, I was hoping you wasn't going to land to say you first. That was funny.
Thank you so much.
You must just let me know when this airs so I can tell people not to look at me.
Nah, they're going to love it. Fish.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlasha lefiki. Ungoyiki, even when they ask you, how sabi yini? Do not fear, for if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.